I'm sorry. This whiskey costs how much money? Barton, bottled and bond, generic. Let's go into it. How are y'all doing today? My name's Chris. Welcome back to Bourbon Sane. I've done a couple different Members Mark bottles now. I've had their base, just small batch bourbon that was 90 proof. I had their single barrel, which I think was 110. One of my favorites at that price point because it was still about $19. This popped up just a couple days ago at my local Sam's Club, the Bottled and Bond. Now, once again, for those of you that don't know, Members Mark, Kirkland, they do like a Barton equivalent of their brand of bourbon. So they source their whiskey from Barton, 1792 Barton, and that's what they put in these bottles. You know, so Barton already has all these labels. They have a single barrel, not quite that high proof, but they have a full proof, which I'm hoping comes next for Members Mark. We're going to see. Honestly, though, for the price you get, $18, $19 on these releases, I really haven't been disappointed yet. Hard to lose in a gamble in this market the way prices are these days. So I'm excited to try the Bottled and Bond. Make sure you do stay tuned for the second half of the video because I'm going to pull out the actual 1792 Bottled and Bond. We're going to do them side by side. We're going to see how far apart or how close they actually are. Man, weather's starting to warm up here in Michigan. I'm a little bit excited for it. It's been kind of nice. But now it's all wet. So we move from winter to spring, which is all just wet. So pretty light color. This is Bottled and Bond as mentioned. So 100 proof. Looks solid. Looks solid. Mash bill on this, if I'm remembering right, 74% corn, 18 rye, and 8% malted barley, I believe. So I'll correct myself if I'm wrong on the screen. You know, you'll see it later in the video, but looks good. I mean, I've had a lot of experience with Barton products over the years. You know, 10 plus years I've been doing whiskey now. Tried nearly everything Barton has put out, probably. So Bottle and Bond's always solid. Up till about 4 or 5 years ago, I really couldn't get it consistently. Now I can actually go to my liquor stores and get it whenever I want, pretty much. So that's nice. But let's go into this one. Woo! All right, immediate cinnamon is the first thing that hits my nose on here. I do get cinnamon in a lot of Barton, but not as strong as this one. So this seems more like a cinnamon cherry forward. It's almost like a candied cherry coming through, though. Think of like a Luxardo cherry or one of them bourbon sugared cherries, you know? Very sweet, very sweet. Some oak. Now, Bottled and Bond has to be at least 4 years. This is probably right around that 4-year age, honestly. So, I mean, just given the bottles and the barrels. Nice nose. I mean, it's very baking spice, very brown sugar. But the biggest thing is that cinnamon. I can't get over that cinnamon. So, not a bad nose. You know, almost no alcohol burn, which is great for a $18, $19 bottle. So, let's go into palate. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, it actually drinks a little bit thin. A little bit of that astringency does come out on the palate now when I try a sip. So it's drinking more like that budget bottle. But I'll tell you what, a budget bottle and Bond sub $20, you're going to be hard pressed to find that. I honestly like the nose more than I do the palate on this. That nose kind of gave you everything you want in a bourbon, honestly. Like it was classic bourbon notes all across the board. It's all really there on the palate. It's just very muted. Which for a 100 proof bourbon, that's usually almost a sweet spot between 100 and 120 or 110, where I get a lot of flavor that comes through, you know, compared to the 90 proofs or 80 proofs or lower. So let me grab my 1792 Bottle and Bond. I'm going to put them side by side. We're going to see how different they actually are. All right, well, I can't find my open Bottle and Bond, so I grabbed a store pick. I've had one pour out of this so far, and I don't remember. It was a while ago I tried it. So for those of you curious, this is a Bottle and Bond pick from Happy Harry's, which is actually in North Dakota, a store in North Dakota. So had this bottle for a lot of years, got it from a bourbon buddy locally, and he said they do great picks. So I'm curious to find out. So let's go into the nose. We'll compare the two here. Wow. Yeah, absolutely amplified on the Bottle and Bond here. I mean, absolutely amplified. Again, I wish I could have found my other one versus a store pick, because especially a place that does good picks and you trust them, it's hard to put them side by side and have it be a 1-to-1 comparison. But the nose that comes through on this Bottled and Bond version from Barton 1792 is almost like a foolproof nose Because on those foolproof noses, I get a lot more really brown sugar, a lot more heavy cherry, and that's really what's coming through on here. Possibly a little bit more oak, actually, on the bottle than Bond, which is interesting. Didn't think that'd be the case, but all the other notes that come through, the brown sugar, cinnamon. Well, there's some toasted oak in this one, too, but both solid, honestly. But there seems to be a clear difference between the brand name, if you will. So let's go into that one. Barton is one of those distilleries that's like very hit or miss for people. You know, it's kind of not thought of as like a great distillery, but they do so much sourcing for other companies. And their expressions they put out are usually pretty affordable and pretty solid, honestly. Yeah, there's just a little more grain and youthfulness on this Members Mark. But I'll tell you what, it's for about half the price. I mean, this is about a $40 bottle for me, so let's go one more. Yeah, there's more vanilla, more caramel, a lot more honey, too. Big honey note is a big note coming through on the actual 1792 bottle than Bond. I'm not really finding that in the Members Mark. If you, I guess, are a fan of sweet bourbons, sweeter the better for you, I would probably go with the actual 1792 bottle than Bond. As mentioned, though, I mean, this is $18.97, I think, for this bottle, as compared to almost $40 for just even the base expression bottle than Bond in my area. I know it's different depending on where you live, but there is definitely a noticeable difference. I think that this is much better, but I'll tell you what, if I want a budget bottle than Bond option at sub $20, I can get a 2-for-1 value on this. I'm probably still going to be picking up this Members Mark. I'm okay putting it in a cocktail, drink it with ice, or just drink it neat if I want to. So nothing off-putting about it, just not quite the depth and the layer of the actual 1792 bottle than Bond. All right, well, let me know if you guys have had these, both of these. This is literally just came out like a week ago at my store. They cycle through the different releases they've had on this. So I was looking for a Kirkland bottle than Bond, but I don't have a Costco membership. I don't think you need one for liquor, though. I'm pretty sure, just like it is at Sam's Club. So I should have just probably gone over there and got one, but I didn't. But I do want to put some bottle than Bonds head-to-head, you know? So I think including both these bottles would be good. I've probably got 8 or 12 here at the bar already. So we could do a couple blinds, almost make it like a Battle of the Bourbons or head-to-head matchups and find out which one's really best for at least the things I have. I'd like to do that. So my thoughts on this, before I go real quick, I just want to say the difference between these bottles is probably a little bit more maybe youthful barrels they'll use in the cheaper version, and maybe location of the rickhouse as well. They're probably selecting from slightly better bottle or barrels, I guess, for the base bottle than Bond. Obviously, store picks are single barrels. But in general, it's probably just location of the rickhouse and maybe age slightly, you know. Still can't complain. At the price, you can't complain. But just wanted to give you quick my thoughts on that. But I appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys like this. Stay tuned. I got a lot more coming up. Stay insane, guys.